Welcome to Koi Channel. We are back with a new curiosity box, and this time it's a small collection of gourd carvings. I'm convinced that gourds were one of the first vessels ever used, and that the form of primitive clay pots was just a copy of nature's design. Next time you take a round teacup in your hands, remember that the origins of its shape go back to the time when people were growing their own tableware on a patch of land, together with squash, potato, beans, and other veggies. Not a bad idea, by the way, and perhaps one day we will do it again. Forward-thinking people are already experimenting with growing furniture and bricks from fungi. Considering the long history of using gourd vessels, it's natural that gourd carving has been practiced in many countries for thousands of years. This particular bottle gourd was made in Kenya. In Africa, dried bottle gourds are known as calabashes. Calabash is the name of the tree that produces hollow fruits, which are also popular as utensils. So, the word calabash can be confusing. Still, both the bottle gourds and fruits of the calabash tree are very common food containers and are used for other purposes, including as resonators for musical instruments. Fruits of the calabash tree are large and can be used for large bowls and even as hats by the women of a tribe in Cameroon. The dry gourds are yellow, and they are darkened by staining when a gourd is being rubbed with millet leaves or just smoked. Sometimes a scraping knife is used to carve out the design and is heated in the fire right before carving. This also can create differences in coloration. Famous Peruvian gourds usually depict everyday scenes from life of the mountain people. This one has llamas, a woman in a traditional hat, a house, and lots of stars. Stargazing in those mountains is incredible because of the elevation and dry air. The design is done by scraping the darkened surface. Our next decorated gourd can be attributed to the style, which was originated in Lando region of China and dates back to the Qing dynasty. Very often, Lando gourds are tiny, almost like a tennis ball. Those are called egg gourds. Long ago, large gourds with the inscriptions meaning medicine served as door signs for pharmacies. The carvings, or rather scrapings, on the gourds were also used to identify the content of the containers. There is more. Crickets were common pets in China, and the homes for little critters were often made from gourds. It looks like one of the drawings depicts a boy with a cage, perhaps feeding a bird or a cricket. Others look like they play music with tambourines. The landscape elements are clearly drawn in traditional Chinese style. These three boys play table game that looks like Yi or Wei Qi, which is an early version of chess. I really like the details in these miniature drawings. Calligraphy, which was done with a needle, is exquisite, and the traditional red stamp of a master is present. I wish I knew what the inscription means, but my Chinese is not good enough for that. Please leave a comment if you can translate it. Hand-painted gourds represent the more recent art, and people can get really creative when it comes to decorating gourds. Check online and you will be surprised by how many different styles exist. All decorative gourds have to be cured in a well-ventilated space, and sometimes they're also being shaped in different forms. But it has to be done very, very early, when the tiny gourd is young, green, and susceptible to meddling. People grow bottle gourds for around 11,000 years, not for food at all, but as vessels to store and carry liquids. Fascinating and ingenious. I love the concept of growing your own bottle. In addition to keeping water in gourds, Native Americans used them as birdhouses or for making rattles. Hollow gourds make cool sounds. This one sounds the best of all 4 gourds we have. The gourds are good for brewing, for making honeycombs, for storing crops, or to measure the crops, and so on. You get the idea. Thanks for watching. Stay curious. Bye!